because there was times, I mean, I've had some really bad times in business. The old product wasn't going right. The label come out wrong. I was just like, why do I bother? It does. It comes out in a second, but then I hear Bob's voice. Persistence. Stop it. Change your thoughts immediately. And then you get right back at it again.
There may be listeners or viewers that they might be in a season of reinvention, maybe approaching retirement or maybe just starting over. And so in addition to what you just described, like what would you say to that person who thinks that it's too late to do something new?
Well, all I can say about that, and I can hear Bob talking behind me, telling me it's too late when you're laying in your grave. That's when it's too late. You've got to, and then that other quote about, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. So you don't look at the time you lost. You look at the time you have left, and you got to make the most of it. And you got to start by, Bob said, and that's in my book, I believe. Bob says you've got to know two things: where you are right now and where you want to go. Mm-hmm. So once you've assessed where you are, look at yourself financially, relationship wise, where you're living, whatever. Once you know that, then try to figure out where it is you want to go. What do you see yourself living in 1 year from now, 2 years from now, maybe in 6 months from now? How do you want to see yourself living? Write it all down. Make it very, detailed notes about that. And then let your mind wander. If failure wasn't a possibility, what would it be? Right? And then condense that, make it into your goal. And you focus on that goal. That's where you want to go. And in 1 year from now, whether you set the goal, I want to have $1 million in my bank in 1 year from now, maybe a year from now, you don't. Maybe you only hit $100,000. But I guarantee the person you're going to be in 1 year from now is going to be very different than the person you are today.
Okay. I couldn't agree with you more.
Because the real objective of that goal is not to get $1 million in your bank. The real objective is growth. You want to become better. You want to become better every day. You want to have more every day. And more is okay. Better is okay. The problem is complacency and satisfaction. You're satisfied. People say, well, I'm satisfied with you. Like, are you? Are you really? And then you ask a couple of questions. And wouldn't you like, well, yeah, I was sure I would like that. Well, sure. So you're settling. That's what you're doing, is you're settling. You're convincing yourself that this is what you want. No, it's not what you want. It's just human nature to want more and more every day. And you can do it. But there is a process that you have to go through, and it's not easy. Changing your mindset is not easy. Staying aware of your thoughts every second is not easy, because you really have to be. Because I catch myself, I don't know, saying, oh, geez, I can't get that. Oh, I got to stop talking like that. If I want that, I can have it. So you really got to make sure you don't have that negative talk. Well, I can't have that car. It's too expensive. But get that out of your mind. You can have that car. If that car is being sold right now to other people, then you can have that too. Just remember that. So, and that was the thing I had a hard time doing, because even to this day, I catch myself with a negative thought, and you've got to reject it. Even if you're talking to somebody, you notice something in them. You don't say to yourself, okay, that person is, it's too much or whatever. You got to say to yourself, I am that. If I could recognize it in you, that's in me too. So you don't even send that energy out to somebody else about their shortcomings or their misgivings. And you always leave them with the impression of increase. Anybody you talk to, it couldn't be a total stranger on the street. Leave them with the impression of increase. Good afternoon, but you're looking happy today, or something. Mm-hmm. Because that helps you control your thoughts as well, because you're always thinking about, well, how can I make somebody else's day better? And when you do that, then you're like, easier on yourself too.
That is such great advice and perfectly said. And, one thing that, again, among many that you used to share with me, because you mentioned the word complacency, and complacency can have a lifelong impact on somebody. You mentioned often back then, while we were out on patrol, you would say, complacency can get you killed in this line of work. And you would explain why that was, because there was such a repetitive nature to some of the most common calls for service, and that you always had to really be present and really be thinking, okay, leading up to, handling this call, what are some things that should be going through my mind to prepare myself for it? And you just, you really planted that seed with me. You said, never, ever, ever be complacent, ever. And that follows you no matter what you're doing in life. And certainly in policing, I mean, yes, that could be a fatal error. But even outside of that, in business, in just your life in general, complacency can lead to an untimely, premature demise as well. Because if you stop thinking and you stop being active and you stay complacent, then you become low-hanging fruit for gravity, and gravity just wants to pull you down.
Well put. I never even considered that kind of extension for my other job, and because complacency will get you killed on that job. Bring that with you into running a business. Okay, it may not get you killed, but it could hurt. It'll sting a bit. It could sting a lot. So always be ready. Don't be too sure that this regular phone call that I'm going to be making, this regular email I'll be sending is going to go the way that they all go. Something could come in and they change the direction. Just be ready for it. Same in policing, it's okay, I'm stopping a car, they're going to pull over, they're going to give me their license. Be ready in the event that they decide not to give you their license, that they decide to challenge you, that they just be ready for it. Have something, look for cover as you're going up to the car where if something went bad, you can get in behind it. Same thing in business, really same thing in business. If there is something that's you're treading into new territory, where's my safety zone? What's my safety net? Who can I fall on in the event this thing starts to go sideways?
We have a ton more amazing conversations and great clips just like this if you go right here. Or if you want to watch the rest of this conversation, the full episode, click right here.